dogs, I'm Cuski the Husky, and today we are doing the draft analysis for Season 1 of the FBT, the Friendly Battle Tournament, my brand new Pokemon League. Today is going to be my draft analysis. My first battle is going to be against Mew 907. My team builder on that will be up after the battle. The battle will be posted the next day. If you guys don't want that and you want me to do the team builder and the battle in one thing, you can tell me that in the comments down below. And if the comments tell me to do so, then I'll do so. Anyways, I'm here to talk about what I drafted, why I drafted it. Basically, the way this league works, it's 11 Pokemon, 400 there's free slots that have certain points to go with them, and then you have to cover certain tiers based on a tier system, mainly made by Showdown. I edited it. The only things I edited through it were I decided if I wanted the ban list in the lower tier or the higher tier. That was my decision. And, it helped me vary and create my team, some other people's teams. And, this is going to be a good league, okay? So, I might do an overall analysis with all my drafters in a Discord server while recording this. Hopefully it works. I'll need to check that first. But anyways, if you guys are hyped for this video and this league, leave a like down below, and don't forget to subscribe if you are new. Alright, enough talking, let's get to the video. We have our Mega Latios. Boom, right out of the gate. I was second to draft, and I grabbed what I wanted immediately, which is amazing. So, it's going to be named, let me change the name for all of them as we get there. So this is my Mountain Dew, because, number one, it's green, like your standard Mountain Dew. Number two, Mountain Dew is often seen in meme completions, so I like that, I watch those. And three, Latios and Latios are the Eons, and their power boosting item for the two of them is called Soul Dew. Overall, thought it was a good name. Anyways, everybody knows that this is one of the scariest Pokemon in competitive battling. I mean, just look at the stats. That's insane. Well, it's really good, and then it's got amazing coverage, and it's just, especially for Latios, it's got really good natural bulk. Latios is a little more powerful, but less bulky. I feel like Latios is still really powerful, and the bulk really helps it live hits. So I value that, especially if I'm going to run a calm mindset over the Mega Latios. Just my personal preference, not everybody's. But anyways, this is really good, and Mega Latios is better for this part, though. It's just good to drop a Draco. I mean, I'm still doing a lot of damage. Sorry for the sniffles. I'm sick, guys. Well, I'm not sure if I'm sick, but I think I have a tiny bit of a summer cold, and I'm just sniffly and stuff, so gotta put up with that. Sorry. But this thing can run so many different options, and you can never predict exactly what it's going to bring. And it's so scary that you have to prep for it, and then I might not even bring it, because honestly, a lot of the teams this season Latios does not do well against, especially Mew 907, because he has Mega Scizor and Mimikyu, and he has, 4 Dark types, so you'll notice that I didn't actually bring it to, oh wait, I can't say that, I'm a little concerned that I should say that, but quick spoilers, I did not bring it to week 1, but this video, it's going to be up and then we're doing the battle, I think, so, I'll plan on doing the battle sometimes today, so, I'll probably upload this after I do the battle, then the next day I'll do Team Builder, and then I'll do the battle, or I might set it to a specific day for battles, but it's not going to be 100% accurate, because of the way my league works, so that's going to be a little odd. I do have a channel for this where not only will I also be posting this video, but any of the other channel's content, including some exclusive content and inside thoughts about who's going to win matches and stuff from me and some of my friends. So, if you guys want to see that and want to know more about this league, subscribe to that channel, link in the description below. Alright, but overall, Megalodios is just such a powerful Pokemon, and it's named Mountain Dew. Next up, I had to grab this early because all my friends were going to want this, because this is just a powerful Pokemon. Stakataka. You'll notice, even from here, that I have a Coco, but the rest of my team is super duper slow, okay? It's not a fast team in any regards. No regards whatsoever. Now, this is a Trick Room setter that could really push my team through and help break through walls for 4 turns. My only problem is I don't have any other Trick Room setters. So this thing is to set, switch, and then I have like 3 turns to like switch around. But anyways, it's kind of fine because number 1, I'm mainly going to be leaving my Stakataka to do the work by itself. But number 2, if I switch, now there's so many different offensive threats I can go into, and now my opponent just has to be scared. And that's what I want. And the battlers that are not as experienced with Trick Room, then I want to run through. But I can't bring Trick Room to every match, as I do have a faster side of my team, and I might bring that core just because it can really work sometimes. But anyways, this is a great Z-Crystal user with Continental Crush and stuff for like Z Stone Edge. That's always amazing. Like one of my favorite sets to run on this has to be Rockium Z along with Stone Edge, Earthquake, Gyro Ball, Trick Room. That just runs through teams. And my name for my Stakataka is Trump's Dream because he's a wall. A great big wall. Next up, we have my Tapu Koko. So that's what I drafted immediately after. And like pretty much immediately. I'm second, so it goes like first, second, because it's snake draft, 1st to 8th, then 8th to 1st, back and forth like that. So that's how it runs. So I originally planned on getting Tapu Koko, when my friend heard me and said he'd grab Tapu Koko before I can get it. So then I said, and I was telling my friend how I wanted Zeraora because I knew he was getting Tapu Koko, and then he thought I wanted Zeraora more than Tapu Koko. So he grabbed Zeraora, grabbed, I think, Tapu Bulu, I believe. And I'm like, bro, you just gave me the one I wanted. He's like, I thought you wanted Zeraora. I said no. So I grabbed Koko. This is what I wanted originally, and bam. Oh, man. So at this point, it's kind of an odd team position, but you'll already notice I have my Fairy Dragon Steel core, and that's one of the most powerful Dragon Fairy Steel cores you'll ever see in draft format. Oh my god. But Tapu Koko, fast and just deals damage straight up. It's just raw powerful damage. And it can be run physical or special. It's usually seen special, even though most people don't know based on this. They only watch Draft League, and you almost always see it special then. That Tapu Koko is a higher physical attack stat and a special attack stat. So, you'll notice that I'm going to be switching it up a little more often. But Tapu Koko is such a great sweeper, even though it does not get any power boosting moves that I know of. It doesn't get Swords Dance or Calm Mind, which can suck. But that's fine. And then, like, it still gets Roost. It gets Iron Defense, which is a odd option. It gets Z Mirror Move. It's a great Z Crystal user. Again, Gigavolt Havoc. It doesn't get Moonblast, which also kind of sucks, but nor Play Rough. So it's kind of a hard Pokemon to run with fairy moves. It does get D-Gleam, which it's a substandard one, but it's still 80 base power, like some moves like Iron Head and Shadow Ball are, while it's Dark Pulse. So it still can be useful. And on the physical side, it gets Wild Charge, it gets Brave Bird, it gets both Volt Switch and U-Turn, which is amazing, because if I need to worry about a Lightning Rod Mon or a Ground Mon that's going to be brought, and I just know it, I run U-Turn instead of Volt Switch and guarantee to switch out, unless there's some random eject button. But or it's like an arena trap. But the only oh no, wait, no, that doesn't trap you. But yeah, like the only person with a shadow tag or arena trap mon is Magnificent Mewtwo, which, as you guys know, is my brother, because he is Wobbuffet, which is interesting. But that's really it. So I get another fairy here, and this is supposed to be more of my slower fairy offense. And if I really want a offensive fairy presence, then it's Sylveon. So that's like the better part of my Fairy Dragon Steel core right there. And obviously, my Fire Water Grass core has not come into play at all. So that might be something you're worried about. That comes in later. Sylveon, as I've already talked about, the offensive, the Dragon Fairy Steel core, as well as the offensive presence of a fairy type on this thing. Oh wait, I forgot to name my Coco's name. So this thing is, I call it, it's Blackhawk. And so, Sylveon here, this is, I'm just going to name it out now. This is Bellatrix. And the ability you're going to be seeing it with is Pixelate. Pixelate, for those who don't know, changes normal type moves into fairy type moves and gives them a 1.2 times power boost, making Sylveon's hyper voice coming off super hard. And I play Cross Evolution right now, which is the current OM in the month, and that thing I run like Sylveon based Talo, for those who don't know, and it's like it's fairy flying, boom burst with Pixelate. It destroys everything. And it has to be a Talo, it can't be Swellow due to evolution reasons. If you guys were to play Cross Evo or learn how to play Cross Evo, you'd understand. If you guys do play Cross Evo, then you definitely understand. But anyways, yeah, I have different sets I like to run for this. Honestly, this is mainly going to be run like a lefty set, but every once in a while you might see a Specs or a Assault Vest set, or maybe even a Fizdef set with a berry. But that's like if I really just need to deal with something that I feel like this can deal with enough. But yeah, so stat-wise, this thing is a sky-high. I'm going to go back to the stats because I forgot to do that. Stat-wise, sky-high physical defense. You need to and then really high attack as well. Same thing, Blackhawk, like I said, mainly focused on speed, but it's got the pretty good offensive stats. Then here we have, Sylveon's stats are obviously based in the SPDF and special attack range. So, Bellatrix here is not going to be a Pokemon that's coming to every match, whereas something like Tapu Koko probably will. Or, yeah, because it's just really good at what it does. But Bellatrix, when it comes to matches, it's going to do its job. But if it doesn't come, the opponent might over-prep, which would be so great for me. And they're going to be bringing a lot of poison moves. As you'll notice, I do have my Coco and my, mainly, I have my Sakataka to switch into it. But poison moves are kind of good at the time, because I've got my Tapu Koko, I've got my Sylveon, and I've got my Tangrowth here, which is the next mon we're going to talk about. It's got pretty good stats-wise. It's got pretty good attack, pretty good defense, pretty good HP, and pretty good special attack. And then from there, we're just, it's actually really good in those top 4 stats, but then it's got Trash, SPDF, and Speed, which is why you never run Speedy Tangrowth, and you sometimes see a V Tangrowth, but that kind of ruins the Sub-Seed, or the Leech Seed part of it that you really want to see, or Toxic. Or Generator is the ability you're going to see. Generator is an amazing ability, by the way. I should probably talk about Mega Latias's is Levitate, gives me immunity to ground moves. That's fine. All Ultra Beasts, like Sakataka, have Beast Boost, which boosts its highest stat, which is why, sometimes you run not even max defense IVs, so you can actually get them attack variants of it, and have your attack being boosted. And Tapu Koko has Electric Surge, which sets up the electric terrain. We already talked about Pixelate. This thing is going to have Regenerator. Regenerator heals 30% of your HP when you switch out, so most of the time you don't even see Synthesis on this set, which can really help it run an AV. Nickname for Tangrowth is Veggie Straws. So, basically, this thing's mainly going to be on his physical wall. Can't be brought to every match, though, because even though it has high special attack and high physical attack, you're never going to really run it offensive, and it can be a tiny bit passive at times. but at the same time, there are way more passive mons. Now, like, honestly, it has a strong offensive presence. Like, I might even run a meme it one. We can go choice specs, and that could do, like, a lot. It's got high attack stats in both attack and special attack. Like, that could just do damage. But at the same time, the main thing you're looking at with Tangrowth is either an AV set or a seed set with, like, max Fizz Def and stuff to take care of stuff like that. Honestly, it's bulky. Bulky is not my playstyle. I'm a very offensive player. But, like, another thing, if I was to run the Choice Spec set, I might run it in Trick Room because it's so slow. And now you can see that Stack Attacka, Sylveon, and Tangrowth, look at that. Like, if I'm going to run the Choice Spec set, the offensive presence that you see in that Trick Room right there, that's just scary. The only unfortunate part about Stack Attacka that does not help me is that it doesn't get Volt Switch, U-Turn, or Parting Shot, which allows me to switch out as well as using the move, and it kind of gives me momentum. So I have to Hard Switch, which is not as momentumous, I guess, as some of the other moves. But, even so, if I can kill a mom with this, it would be amazing. And especially if it's like Toxics and Leech Seed, some of the bulky mons. Like, when this comes, it can be a really advantageous player, but it can also be a little too passive at times. But anyways, Vegistraw's here, great member, and this is the beginning of my Fire Water Grass Core, as this is a very good grass type. Next up, we have Donphan here. Oh, man, dude. What do I even really have to say about Donphan? You guys know what it does. It's a Stealth Rocks mon. It definitely sets up Stealth Rocks. It gets Rapid Spin, so it's a very great Hatcher Control mon. So I can really, and don't worry, later in the draft, I will show you that I have a Poison type as T-Spike's Absorber. This way this thing does not have to get toxic or poisoned if somebody decides to bring T-Spice as this comes in. This thing does not need to worry about Sticky Webs, even though only one team, maybe two teams have it. I don't exactly know. I think only one team has it, but in that case, this thing does not really care about speed most of the time, completely abuses Sticky Webs. My main set on this thing is going to be Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, Earthquake, and some surprise coverage move just to cover one mon. And I actually do, and they're going to be like, why does he have that? He's not even offensive. And that's what I love about Donphan. It can be completely defensive and then just pull out one special 4-time super effective move that just deals damage, and then they're forced to switch out, and then it can go into, and then like it doesn't get U-turn again, but I can still swap into something, and then like I'm kind of on like not very momentumous, but I'm forcing them to switch out, and that can give me momentum, and then maybe I can Volt Switch or U-turn with that mon if it can. As you guys currently can see, my only Volt Switcher is or U-turner is actually both is in Coco, as I did go into that. Stats of Donphan are pretty good, with attack and defense being high. Special attack, speed F, and speed are something to be desired. HP is 90, but even though Tangrowth obviously has more stats buffed up, this has the higher of the two. But even so, if I'm really looking for a bulky wall mon, I'm mainly going to be bringing Tangrowth over this thing, and I'm probably going to be running, if I do want to run this thing bulky as Fizz Def, I'll run AV Tangrowth to pair with it, and then that's one of the most annoying bulky pairs you'll ever see. In that match, I may run Toxic instead of a cool coverage move. But now you look at it, Donphan's a really good Pokemon to finally just have a really reliable rocker, because I do have Stealth Rocks on my Stack Attacka. I could run that, but it's not a reliable rocker. This is the most reliable Rapid Spinner / rocker you will see in competitive format. My name for my Donphan is Sarge, and its ability is mainly going to be Sturdy. Sandvale, nobody is Sand, so I'm not going to be running that. But as you already know, we each get to draft 11. So here's the second part of my draft, starting with Darmanitan. Yes, now you know where the other speedy offensive presence is on my team. Besides Coco, there is Darmanitan. man, this thing can run through teams. So, Flare Blitz with Sheer Force. A lot of you know that Flare Blitz is a recoil move. Not many of you know it has a 10% chance to burn, because 10% chances don't they don't really happen very often, especially on Flare Blitz, and so that actually makes Flare Blitz even more powerful because it negates the burn with Sheer Force. Sheer Force's ability that gives it, Sturdy, by the way, guys, the ability I was talking about earlier, it makes it so I can't be killed in one hit. Not the best ability, but hey, it's something. Sheer Force. Boost my power by 1.3, but remove secondary effects of attacks. Not recoil damage, unfortunately, nor losing attack and defense when I'm using superpower, which, this thing could have been firefighting, honestly, but we have too many of those, number one. And number two, it's still good. Also, I'm pretty much going to be running Sheer Force every time. There is the Zen mode, so that, it can transform into its Zen mode Darmanitan, which then gets it's fire psychic, and it gets psychic and it gets offensive psychic moves, and it's more specially attack biased. It's a really hard thing to run, and I'm almost always going to be running the sheer power or the sheer force of offensive Darmanitan just running through teams. This is a Pokemon that, even though I drafted it one of my later drafts, because I originally drafted Entei, but then dropped it for this thing, as I was kind of wishing that, my Entei was kind of in the middle with my speed tiers, and it was a good middle ground, but then it wasn't enough to back my Coco if I really needed to run something else fast. And here is U-Turn. This is U-Turn. This is a U-Turner right here. Great momentum. You're often going to see Flare Blitz, Superpower, U-Turn, and then I guess Power Up Punch. I don't know. I don't know many of its coverage moves, but I have enjoyed playing with it. I have a few offensive sets on it, and what it does great. I think it gets Thunder Punch, but I don't quite remember. But that's good coverage for water. It does not get Ice Punch. Being a fire type, most fire types don't get Ice Punch. But anyways, its stats, obviously, high attack. Its speed is 95, which isn't the best, so you're often going to see it Scarfed, but you also might see it Banded. Its HP is pretty good, even though its other defensive stats and its special attack stat are nothing good at all, and nothing I'm ever going to be using unless I decide to run a Zen mode. But, I did run you'll see in my team builder that I can run bulkier variants of this thing, but you barely ever do. And you'll see why, because it's actually really helpful. But anyways, you'll know, this thing is it's there, and it's just made to work and do what it's supposed to do. And because it's got such a sky-high attack, if you don't want to invest in it and want to invest in maybe a little bulk to live certain hits from certain Pokemon, you don't exactly have to run too much attack in it, as it's already got really high attack. So, obviously, I'm gonna name it Dari Market. So, a lot of you are going to be wondering why. When I was trying to look up Darumaka for my friend to see if I can get some stats, it picked up my voice's Dari Market, and that's how it spelled it. So that is going to be the name that I picked for it because it's funny. And the shiny, I think, is kind of cool, I guess. Seismitoad. Now you'll see Tangrowth, Seismitoad, and Darmanitan. Fire, water, grass. There's the fire, water, grass core that you guys were probably looking for. There you go. That's just amazing. Seismitoad. Another reliable rocker to pair with Donphan if I don't feel like bringing it, if I really need water and I don't feel like running dual ground, though I might, because some teams might have powerful Volt Switchers. I can't think of anyone at the time, though I haven't really been looking at other people's teams much. I'm looking at my opponents, only for the round and maybe the week ahead, but I don't know the week ahead because I decide those after my battle. So, obviously, number one thing to talk about, its stats are all pretty much in the same area, and none of those are all that bad. Could be seen physical or special for Skull's reasons or knockoff reasons. Could be offensive or defensive. Oh, sorry. Could be run offensive, defensive, rocks. One thing I've run before is like choice specs. With like, cause I just play like for fun in the NU sometimes. Specs, scald, or surf sometimes. That depends how I feel. Or power, sludge wave, and like grass knot or something. It's so funny. It was really funny, and I can run grass knot. I think this thing gets grass knot, right? I think it's grass knot. Yeah, it does. So that's like really good coverage for that's like really good coverage for some of the heavy hitters. It gets Earthquake like all ground types do. A bunch of my Pokemon get Earthquake. That's another good coverage move for Darmanitan. Gets Earthquake. This gets Earthquake. We already talked about Earthquake on Sakataka, Earthquake on Donphan, Earthquake on a bunch of things. And it's good at it, so it can be seen with Swift Swim, which is a pretty good ability if rain comes, and I don't think there's any team with rain. Poison Dodge is an interesting ability of giving attacks that are contact a 30% chance of poisoning, but I don't think I'll be running that. I might for a meme. Water Absorb is what you're mainly going to be seeing, so I can absorb those water type attacks instead of taking neutral damage because I'm part ground. But, in the end, it can be seen with Rindo Berry to half the power of super effective ground, making it only regular super effective, and this thing's natural bulk should be able to live that. But overall, water ground type's not bad, and that completes the water ground core. And my name for it is size 11s. Yay. The name's odd, but I like it. Next up is Vivian. Obviously, I have it in jungle form, as you guys can read that and see that. I like jungle. I think it's the coolest one. Vivian, I bet a lot of you are wondering why. Now, obviously, I don't have a bug type on my team yet, or flying type, and this thing does get defog, which is a very unreliable one. But hear me out. That's the second ground immunity on our team. Levitate on the Mechalati. 2, Quiver Dance. Now, you guys are thinking, Quiver Dance. Venomoth, I just did not have enough slots in my RU slots or free points, as I already have 3 RUs in Donphan, Darmanitan, and Sakataka. Those are just vital to this team. So I ran this instead, which is still pretty good with compoundized Hurricanes, so I have more accurate Hurricanes. I have Bug Buzz. I can get Sleep Powder. I can get Roost. I can get Quiver Dance. So it's basically a less bulky and slightly less offensive Venomoth but more accurate Hurricanes and Hurricane in general, I believe. Does not get Sludge Bomb, so obviously it's not quite as good as Venomoth, but it's still really good at what it does. Now, stats, nothing really to scream about, in my opinion. It's just 90 special attack, 89 speed. It's like nothing to scream about, but those stats are scary under Quiver Dance. Quiver Dance, that's going to help me out a lot. I'm always going to be running Compound Ice, never Friend Guard. That's just not good. Ability in singles, it does nothing in singles. But, Shield Dust I'm also not going to be running. Most of the time, I'm going to be running the Compound Eyes so I can hit that Hurricane. Obviously, this is what you want. And this is mainly just the Pokemon you're going to be using. And just to hit moves, Hurricane, Bug Buzz, everything of the sort. That's really all, though. It does get Hidden Power, I guess. But mainly, the sets you're going to be seeing, maybe even a mono attacking set with Roost, Quiver Dance, Sleep Powder, which it also gets Roost. It's, like I said, an unreliable defogger, and it's actually nothing to scream about. But overall, quite happy about this. Next up, we have Ditto. Ditto, there's not much to say about. He's pretty much running the Choice Scarf every week. This way, it can outspeed your opposing Pokemon. I don't think there's any speed boosting items that are not Choice Scarf. So, yeah. If there was, though, then I definitely run that. But I usually see Choice Scarf if people want to boost their speed. So, yeah. But anyways, you basically just run Transform and its ability Empower. imposter. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about so Vivian's name is I originally had a really good one for it, but I forgot it. But yeah, I have another really good one in Butter Slave, cause it's a butterfly, and instead of being butter free, because that Pokemon is free to roam around wherever it wants, because nobody can catch it, because nobody has it. It's my Butter Slave, and it works for me. Wah! I am king. Cuski. I'm Cuski the Husky, and yeah, boy. Anyways, for those who are watching this channel and know about it, it's really King Marshmallow, but whatever. Anyways, Atlanta Braviaries team name, because the Atlanta Braviaries best. Anyways, Ditto. Not much to say about it. You run Imposter, this way it automatically transforms into your opponent. You run it Scarfed, and you outspeed them, kill them with their own moves, and, yeah, it's the best revenge kill in the game, which is why I call it Best Revenge, BRK, standing for Best Revenge Kill, because that's what it is. And then, so yeah, I'm running a shiny most of the time. Obviously, you pretty much run a Fizz Def set, though. It doesn't matter with Imposter. You'll never be a Ditto. You'll only be it for 1 second, never even get to get hit as it. Only problem, though, with it is that when it does transform into the opponent and copies its moves and typing and everything, it keeps the same HP stat, and Ditto's is nothing to be screamed about. You can raise it, though, and then it also gets the same, gets the opponent's offensive stats, speed stats, and defensive stats, but except for HP. But anyways, you only get 5 PP of each of their moves, meaning I can't just run it in the beginning of the game and sweep through everything and ever sweep. But a good thing about this is that it actually also copies stat changes when it transforms. So if my opponent's sword stance and is trying to sweep me like that, I turn into him, I get his sword stance boost and run through them. Boom, bada bick, bada back. Done. Ditto 1. Now for my final Pokemon, Skuntank. Mainly going to be seen with that Aftermath ability. This thing is a very interesting Pokemon. Its stats, obviously, look at it, nothing to be screamed about, but relatively balanced. This thing is an interesting Pokemon, so it can really be run AV, it can be run a Toxic stat with a little bulky, with like Black Sludge. Here's my Poison type for T-Spikes and Mute for T-Spikes. I don't think this thing does get Defog, which is interesting. It's an interesting defogger, and it's relatively reliable. But the fact that it's a defogger that gets wrecked by ground type moves, that's kind of sucky. But that's stuff we can deal with. I can Toxic Poison that Pokemon, and plus you can also run it like AV to boost its SPDF, and then like it gets good coverage. It gets Poison Jab, Crunch, obviously to fit its Stab, which I haven't mentioned much about the Stab type, but yeah, what I've said is like to go with its typing and stuff. So you know I was basically talking about Stab. But with this thing, it uses it also gets substandard coverage. I said pretty good, but it's more substandard. It gets hidden powers. Like all my special attackers are probably going to be using hidden power at some point. Hidden power can be any type, by the way. Based on breeding, but we don't breed in this. We just choose the moves because it's easy on Showdown. And yeah. But anyways, you run that. And then it gets Play Rough, which is pretty good coverage, as well as Flamethrower, which is also really good coverage. This overall makes a pretty good Pokemon. And, yeah, it's pretty good. Obviously, as I've talked about most of the aspects of my team now, it kind of goes down. But if I run a slow offensive size Toad or a slow Skuntank, obviously we have my Trick Room offense, pretty good. Have my faster offense, also pretty good. I can run it both ways. And then overall, in the end, we have bulky mons, we have offensive mons, we have everything. The team needs. Sorry, I felt like I was going to sneeze there. So, whatever. But, yeah, that's the team. If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like. Any thoughts about this team? Also, comment about that down in the comments below. Thank you guys all for watching, and until next time. Woof, 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 woof.